Abrams here, and we are here to promote this Friday night at the 2300 Arena. A terrific night of boxing, King's Promotions. I'm joined by promoter Marshall Kaufman and Andrew Foy. Also, main event fighters Greg Outlaw and Edgar Torres, plus two of the more exciting young fighters will be competing on the undercard, Kashon Hutchinson and Elijah Morales. First, I'd like to turn it over to the promoter of King's Promotions, Mr. Marshall Kaufman.
How's everyone doing? Sorry for getting on a little late here, but better late than never. How about it? Looking forward to a great night of boxing on Friday night, coming back to the ever so famous 2300 Arena. And we have a full night, a great night of fights. You know, we have 8 fights loaded on the card with the return of Christian Carto, which is the big name, of course, because of being off for 3 years. But, you know, we also have other exciting fighters on the card with a great main event between Greg Outlaw and Edgar Torres. I think both guys have been off for quite some time, and it showed in their last fight from being off for so long, but they're back, and there's no reason for any hiccups per se. So we'll see what takes place on Friday night.
And we got the ticket. We got the ticket number going across the bottom of the screen. I'd like to turn it over now to Dr. Andrew Foy. Give me a couple words on the card for Friday night.
I would just echo Marshall's sentiment. I think it's going to be a great event. Other than the fighters that he highlighted and that are on with us tonight, other fighters to be excited about is this the debut of Liana Cruz, very exciting female prospect we have signed. It's also sorry, we're getting feedback, Mark.
Okay. I mean, I hear you guys fine, but just keep talking.
And then we also not Julian Jackson. Julian Gonzalez, and then Kadir Albright, who are very exciting young prospects, and can't wait to see them in action. I think it's really going to be a great card. And then also Kenny Robles and Victor Vasquez, which should be a barn burner fight. So I think it's going to be a great event. I'm really looking forward to it.
Just muted myself. I'm sorry. I'm muting everybody, so I muted myself. Let's turn it over to Marshall Kaufman. We'll break down fight by fight. And Andrew, I want you to chime in, and then once we get to our guest, the fighters, we'll let them say a few words. Marshall, as Andrew eloquently mentioned, the debut of Liana Cruz. She's taking on Delaney Bailey.
Yes. I don't know much about Delaney Bailey, except that she's has 3 fights under her belt. I know one thing about Liana Cruz. She's a puncher. She works hard, and we've been trying to get her in the ring for quite some time now, and it's finally happening come Friday night. It's going to be a great night. It's going to be a great fight for her as well, making her pro debut against the very tough and durable Delaney Bailey. So we're excited to see what happens there. And then another 4-round fight is of course Julian Gonzalez, as Andrew mentioned, going up against Ronnie Arana. And Ronnie Arana just made his pro debut 2 weeks ago in Harrisburg. Tough, durable, strong man that comes forward. He's aggressive. And I think this is going to be the first true test of Julian's young career as he steps in there on Friday night. And then in another 4-rounder, we have Kadir Albright going up against Herberto Camarena Jr., who's got like 19 amateur fights, making his pro debut. So it's going to be, I think it's going to be challenging for Kadir as well, because, you know, as these fighters take steps in their career, every step should become a little bit tougher and tougher. And then, of course, we have Kashon Hutchinson going up against Andre Bird. Andre Bird has an upside-down record, but so did Kashon Hutchinson at one time. And so Andre Bird's a very durable fighter. He's been in there with a lot of undefeated fighters, and I think he's going to put Kashon to the test and see what Kashon's capable of doing. Kashon's on a 5-fight win streak, who's been very impressive. And if you look at the fighters on the card, Kashon's fought a lot of tough fighters and undefeated fighters as well. So his resume speaks for itself. And then you have
Well, hold on, Marshall. We have Kashon here. Kashon, you're, we just mentioned you the 5-fight winning streak. Talk about this fight coming up, and what's been the difference in these last 5 fights?
Man, just the training camp, switching over with my coaches. Different gym. Now I'm actually at King's Gym. Like I said, I'm just love the more training, the better people around me. I surround me with a better team. And it's not going to be a hard test. It's going to be an easy test. But again, like you said, I'm the hottest fighter around here. So you and Andrew both said. So I want to salute both of you for saying that. But like I said, come Friday night, I'm going to show what I got to do again. So I'm ready.
What can you tell us about Andre Bird?
I just know he's older, so he got me by 11 years. So I'm just about to show him this youth. That's all I know.
Well, I want to turn over to Andrew for a minute. Obviously, you first brought up about the streak that Kashon's been in. What has impressed you the most about Kashon over the last 5 fights or so?
I think just his confidence. His mentality is that he goes into these fights, he feels like he's the A-side fighter, whether he is or he isn't. He's aggressive. He puts pressure on his opponents. And, he has the stamina to do it. And, his style presents problems for most guys he faces. I remember the James Martin fight. I think James is a very good young prospect. He has a big win against Vito Malnicki. He's been in there with good fighters. And Kashon, he kind of ate him up. And that style, that tenacity, it's going to be tough to deal with. Kashon's tough. He can take a punch, and he brings it. He just brings it, straight forward to his opponents, and he's just been overwhelming guys.
Marshall, Andrew made a nice little. I think the feedback is actually coming through you, but he made a nice comment. He mentioned James Martin, and obviously we've seen James in high-profile national television fights. You see Kashon Hutchinson and Kashon, obviously you'll hear this. How you feel a couple more wins, you can go to a network and say, hey, I got this kid. He's won 7, 8, 9 in a row, and get him in one of those opportunities like you did for James Martin, who suffered a loss, but you were able to get him some high opportunities?
Of course. That's the plan. Kashon's proven himself, and the biggest challenge is that most guys don't want to fight southpaws. So I think that would be our biggest obstacle that we have to face. But he's proven himself, so he deserves that opportunity.
Kashon, when you hear your promoter saying that, how's that make you feel to know that, like you said, your record at one point wasn't the greatest in the world, and now you're on such a roll that you could play yourself right into a high-profile opportunity.
Yeah, next time I want the main event. I want the main event. That's what I want. Put me in the main event.
Well, I know you're not done talking, but let's go to a couple other fights. And I know you want to talk something in a couple minutes. So let's just go back to Marshall and keep running down the card, Marshall.
All right, great. Next we have another 6-rounder and a young kid from Trenton, New Jersey, who trains out of Florida, and Eli Morales, and Elijah Morales, and he had a great performance his last fight at the 2300, and not only did he have a great performance, he had a great crowd there as well. It was a packed house, with Elijah Morales' fans and Greg Outlaw's fans. It was a great night, great afternoon of boxing, I should say. But Elijah's back on the card. He's looking to make a statement with tougher opposition, and Elijah's in that class where he's still learning. He's he's learning on the job, and I'm excited to see what Friday night brings for him.
Well, we got Elijah here on the line. Elijah,
Hey, how you doing?
floor is yours. Give us a few words.
My opponent, Kevin Davila, I know that he likes to come in, come straight to the body. So first round is gonna be pretty tough, trying to, maneuver through him. But I think if I just stick to my game plan that me and my coach and my team have, composed, then we'll be on a steady road to the victory. You feel me? And I'll I'm not trying to promise anything, but I can boost the crowd up, with a knockout, hopefully, God willing, if it comes my way. You feel me? But 5-8, Kevin Davila that I'm going against, and like I said, he looks like a strong opponent. But as long as I keep to the game plan, I'm gonna get that W.
And we got one of your guys, Ricardo Colon, who's watching the show here tonight. Talk about, Marshall mentioned about your crowd. You had an amazing crowd at the last time. Where does that all stem from? I mean, how did your fan base begin to build and have it at the numbers that it is now?
Honestly, it comes from my family, my pops. He was raised in Trenton. The amount of people that he was able to, have his back, throughout my career. They just been coming out, supporting me because of how great of a person he is. And, it's great to see how many people will come out and come together as one for just, a small town boy that had a father that, basically paved the way for him. It's a great feeling, having all those people there. And, for him, it's even a more spectacular moment to see that his people are now cheering on his son. So it's honestly great. It's an amazing feeling, something that I can't really describe. It's honestly so surreal at the moment that, you kind of like don't get it until you get back into the ring. So it's amazing.
Andrew, you've been around a lot of fighters. You've sold tickets for all the shows that you've been around. Talk about that, and talk about that. What Eli brought to the table is going to bring to the table again on Friday night. And not only is he at the fans, he's got a lot of ability to go behind it.
Yeah, I'm excited to see him in this fight. It's a little bit of a step up compared to his opponent for the last fight. I think he's going to do great. I think he has a lot of great attributes to have a very good professional career. Having the crowd and the ticket sales like that, it's only going to help him. And I think that's important for young fighters to understand. A lot of guys may have good amateur backgrounds, but if you're not a blue chip prospect, the best way to be able to build yourself correctly is to be able to sell tickets, because it's a big investment. Building these guys the right way. And so it's going to be a big help, I think, to Elijah in his career.
Back to Marshall. Marshall, you there?
Yeah, I'm here.
There you go. You're back. Here we go. So we got a couple fights up to talk about. You got Marshall. There you go. Co-feature Christian Carto. Christian couldn't join us tonight, but like you mentioned, a lot of people very excited about the comeback of Christian Carto, Marshall.
Yeah, most definitely. How can you not be? He was probably the hottest talked about fighter in Philadelphia before his loss, before the setback. And he was on a roll. He was keeping busy, fighting very often, packing the house. Christian Carto was number one in the country as an amateur. So he has a big amateur background to go along with it. And unfortunately, the way boxing works is he got caught in that fight, and he was off. And I think he just had to regroup mentally, physically. And I think he's back and he's ready to go. And I'm excited to see him back in the ring myself.
And that leads us to our main event Friday night, a fight with two guys who are going to bring it, going to scrap, and give it all they can. Greg Outlaw and Edgar Torres. Marshall, I'll break it down really quick.
Look, both guys have been off for quite some time. I think Edgar was off for 4 or 5 years before the Kashon Hutchinson fight. And going into the fight, I think it was sort of like overwhelming for him all of a sudden. Sort of the same thing that happened with Greg. Greg was off for almost 3 years due to knee surgery and COVID, and I think everybody was off during COVID just about. But so I think it was sort of we're going to see if it was really time off that affected both of these fighters come Friday night, or whether it was just sorry about that. Somebody keeps trying to call me, or whether it was just the fighters themselves that was just not prepared or not physically prepared for the level of opposition. So we're going to see come Friday night what it's made of. Both fighters coming off of their very first loss in their career, going back into the ring, and I think it's going to be an interesting fight.
Well, we have both main event fighters here. We'll give the floor first to Edgar Torres. Edgar, let me get you in here. Say a few words.
Hey, first off, I want to thank everybody. Thanks for giving me an opportunity to come back. And I'm just here to show that I'm back. And last fight, it didn't go my way, but it happens in boxing. He caught me with a good shot. Nothing away from Hutchinson. But I'm just ready to go now, physically, mentally prepared.
And also, we'll get to a couple questions for each guy, but I want to get Greg Outlaw, get his opening statements.
I just want to thank everybody who tuning in. Friday night is going to be fireworks. I come off of laws, and if you know how hard I work and who I am as a person, I've been devastated since. So I can't wait till Friday to get back on this winning streak and keep going forward.
Anything you had to change up training wise, or you just hungrier now because of that loss?
I've always been hungry. I don't make excuses. He was the guy that beat me. God bless him, and he just a hungry man. And I ain't gonna what happened in camp. I don't go behind the scenes. He was a better man. I ain't gonna let it happen again. I learned, and it's gonna be a great night Friday.
The humble warrior. Back to Edgar Torres. Edgar, same question. Obviously, you came into the fight with Kashon undefeated. You left there with your first L. Did you change anything up? Did you go back, look at the tape? I did this wrong. I could have done this better. What's going to be different that we see Friday night?
No, I'm not taking away anything from that loss. He caught me with a good shot, good tempo shot, and that was it. But I learned from that also, and then I'm ready to go. And come Friday night, I'm gonna show it.
You guys are probably a couple 100 miles away from each other right now, but you're actually kind of close to each other. See, this is the great thing about what we're doing here. You have a chance to sort of look your opponent in the eye and tell him, what you're thinking. What if you have something to say to Greg Outlaw, who can hear you right now, can see you right now? What do you want to tell him?
Just be ready to put on a good show, and I'm gonna come out victorious.
Greg, same question back to you. You Edgar's here. What do you want to tell him?
That was cute. Come out victorious. But God bless you, brother. I hope you'll come to the fight 100% ready. Hope you test COVID free as well as me, and give these fans a good show. And somebody's one guy. I used to say somebody's old got to go. Somebody's one got to go, and it ain't gonna be mine. So I'm gonna go ahead make it do what it do.
I know there's someone on the line also here that we spoke to earlier. He also be in the card. Kashon, I believe. Did you want to say something to either of these two gentlemen?
Yeah. Whoever wins, I want to run it back. Outlaw right now, he been whatever. He should be running back with Chi-Town after he got whooped by him. He shouldn't be wanting to fight Edgar Torres. He should be wanting to get his rematch. But I want the winner. Whoever wins, it don't matter to me. Whoever wins, I want the winner.
After I get through what I'm coming for you.
All right. Whoever wins.
Trust me, I wanted that too, brother. But they said it made sense to me fight that boy again. But I wanted, of course, after he beat me, I wanted that one.
That's who you should be fighting against. Chi-Town.
Yeah, I wanted to, brother. Don't worry, on you. I did for sure.
Marshall, do I get a matchmaking fee for this?
Yeah, it's already in the mail, Mark.
What do you think of that? Obviously, Kashon before he came on said he wanted the winner of this fight. Started here.
There's a lot of feedback from someone, but either way, look, I mean, who doesn't want a rematch? Who doesn't want rematches after you suffer your first loss? You know, who doesn't want the rematch and revenge those losses? I think that's human nature. You know, so I think they all would want that. I know Kashon wants his rematch against Outlaw, and I'm sure Edgar Torres wants his rematch back against Kashon. You know, so in time we can make all those fights happen. And that's what's so sweet about this.
I think it's coming from you, I think, Marshall. But these fights, you have a lot of these fighters around 4-7 that you can mix and match with. It's shaping up to be a good time. 40-47 under the King's boxing banner.
All right, I was muted, Mark, so couldn't have been coming from me, but either way.
Actually, you weren't muted now. Now you're muted.
Right. So, no, it's great. Look, you got the 47-pound division. You can make things happen. Why not?
Let's see here. Let's go to Andrew really quick, and then I want all the fighters to give a final statement. Andrew, you know, there's a terrific card. I mean, there's a lot on the line for these guys, as you know, we've heard in the last few minutes. What do you take away your final comment before we see the weigh-in on Thursday, which you'll be able to watch here live on wherever you're watching it tonight, and the fight on Friday night?
Well, I mean, I'm glad to hear the willingness out of these guys to want to fight each other, depending on the outcomes of their fights on Friday. And yeah, I mean, I just would just echo again. I think this is going to be a great card from top to bottom. Looking forward to seeing our young fighters in action. I hope people come out to support them. I think they're going to give fans a great show. And then the top of the card is going to be excellent as well. And one fight that we haven't talked about is Kenny Robles and Victor Vasquez. And I think that's a fight that really going to be a barn burner of a fight. So anyway, I think it's a great card. I can't wait for the event. Can't wait for the weigh-ins and the event on Friday. I hope people come out and have a good time.
Kashon, give us a final word before we see you Thursday and then on Friday. I don't know why we can't hear him. He's unmuted.
Oh, sorry.
There you go.
I'm just ready to go, man. I'm ready to perform, do what I got to do. I'm just ready to go.
Elijah, final word.
Wayne's going to go smooth. Fight is going to go even smoother. You know, thank you guys for allowing me to be on your card.
Edgar, final word.
Thank you for allowing me to be on your card and ready to go and take my opponent out. And Kashon, I'm coming for you, baby.
And Greg, final word from you, Greg.
Thank you for everybody coming out. You seen Team Outlaw always, wherever I am, they is. You see them in the comments with all the logo, my logos and all that. See y'all first Thursday, so I can weigh in and then eat. But then Friday, and it's gonna be a good show, great performance, and we back, Team Outlaw, we back.
And last but not least, Marshall, we'll let you wrap it up. Where do we find tickets? And just your final word.
Tickets are available at 2300arena.com. They will have some tickets on their website that we just placed back in there for a fight that fell through. So there's tickets there that they can get. There's a few tickets left. But, hey, look, if you didn't get tickets, come on out Friday night. It's going to be a great show. Very competitive fights. And just looking forward to it. Looking forward to a great night to see these guys display what their skills are.
Let's go!
Who is that?
Let's go, Marshall. Let's go!
It's my father, y'all.
This Friday night, 8. Hold on, Marshall. What did you say, Marsh?
No, that was his father. It was funny.
This Friday night, 8 p.m. first bell. So there's no excuses, work, this, that, the other. Most of these shows are at 7, 7:30. This is 8 o'clock. So, Marshall, there's no reason for people to miss this show.
I agree, Mark. And so come on out, get your tickets. Come, don't miss these exciting fights.
There you have it. I want to thank Greg Outlaw, Elijah Morales, Kashon Hutchinson, Edgar Torres, Dr. Andrew Foy, plus Marshall Kaufman. Terrific 8-bout card. The return of Christian Carto, Outlaw against Torres. See Elijah Morales. Leanna Cruz, the pro debut, one of the hottest young prospects in boxing, named Kadir Albright, Kenny Robles, and a lot more. 8 o'clock this Friday night, 2300 Arena in Philadelphia. Be there.